If we are live
Are we
on the
live?
Glassbox stream. Boom, there we go. All right. I got some back end stuff to handle. Shannon, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? All right. Well, God, let me turn sound here everywhere. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had too many things barraging me. Okay. What are we doing here today? All right. Today, what we are doing is we are eh, going to watch a film, an old film of A Study in Scarlet, written by Arthur Conan Doyle. It's the very, very first Sherlock Holmes ever written. If you remember, those of you who listen to Glassbox, and also those of you who might not have heard this one, on episode 144, which came out February 28th, 2024, this year, we talked about this book because this one is the story that involves Mormons, and the one that pissed off a lot of Mormons and still does to this day because it portrays Brigham Young as the mafia boss that he is or was. So that's what we wanted to talk about. And our patrons had said, yes, they wanted to sit down, do a watch party with us, watching one of these old films that were made of this. Not very many actually made the story, made films of the story. And we would just do a watch party and talk about it and talk shit about it. So, but also in preparing for this yesterday, we realized something else, didn't we, Bryce?
Yeah. Turns out the universe decided to play a gigantic April Fool's prank on Bryce to make him look like a gigantic dumbass because Bryce was wrong about this. And what happened is the original Study in Scarlet, 1914, while we were doing the research for that segment, I had just, Googled it and I was like, oh, awesome, it's 1914 flick. And then just went about preparing the rest of the show and didn't think a whole lot of it. Didn't even try to find a copy of it, only to look and try and find one for our stream today to realize that it is one of the most sought after lost films in non-existence now. So the movie that we are here to watch tonight doesn't fucking exist, but we shall persevere. So instead, I made a mistake. I just didn't check the information. I was wrong.
Sorry.
So
Yeah, in fact, it's one
yeah.
of those early films that were sacrificed to the war effort, actually, because in those early films, there was enough metal in them that when they were able to burn them down or whatever, and use that in the war effort. And so that's what happened to it.
So good fun. So instead, well, we decided to try and do our best to salvage this situation. There are a couple of other renditions of A Study in Scarlet, and we did, Shannon and I discussed back and forth of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to handle this. So the first that came up on our list was the 1933 Study in Scarlet. But Shan, why did we throw that one out immediately?
Wait, I was like, there is no fucking way we're watching this because this is one that's in name only. They called it A Study in Scarlet, but the entire story of the film is not even an actual Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes film. I was so mad. Just
Yeah.
looking at it, I was like, no, no. I mean, it's a clickbait title, that's all. So I was like, no, we're not watching that one. Not at all.
Yeah, no, and I scrolled through it a little bit and I was like, what is going on in this? It's like an Agatha Christie novel. That's like there's
Yeah,
nothing.
exactly.
This is not
Exactly.
Conan Doyle. All right, so
And
that
there's
was
too
thrown
many
out the
women
window.
in it. He hardly had any women in his stories. His best stories actually do have a woman client and everything, but with this one, I was like, nope,
Nope.
all of that is wrong.
Yep. So there were two alternatives. There is a 1968 publication or a movie of it, and it was a TV movie. It's about 15 minutes, and it is actually true to the source material, although it goes very light on portraying the Mormon element of the movie, but it does spend a fair amount of time on it. And then there's the animated flick from 1983, I believe it is, right, Shannon?
Yeah, it was 1983, and I just kind of skipped through parts of it to making sure that it was the actual story because I was pissed off about the 33 one. And I'm like, this looks like a Scooby Doo film. I mean, the animation is like, I mean, it's 83, so of course it was. The
Yeah.
villains are like animated villains from Scooby-Doo and all of that. And it does portray the Utah stuff. And the bad guys are really bad and all that shit, cigar smoking and all that. So, anyways, kind of fun.
We decided to go and, it being closest to the source material, we were kind of wanting to do that. However, the 1968 version is available for free on YouTube. So we figured that would probably be best, most accessible to the audience, and that's probably the right way to go about this. Now, because this is a trying to make the best out of a stupid situation of Bryce's doing, what we're going to do, we can't really broadcast a watch party onto YouTube or anywhere really. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this live stream up as kind of a standalone, just explaining what's going on tonight, and we're going to put in the comments a link to join the actual watch party, and then we're going to shut down the stream in order to do the watch party. We're all going to watch the movie together, and then we're going to boot the live stream back up, actually a different live stream under the same title essentially, and that's where we can all discuss the movie that we just watched for the watch party. So that's kind of what we figured to make the best out of the situation. So I guess. uh, April Fools, everybody. The universe got us. Uh, so if you're a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/glassboxpod, you should see a new post from a few minutes ago that's inviting you to the watch party. You can click on the I accept these terms from Will. Thank you very much. You can join the actual live stream and watching it on YouTube, although that's going to be pretty boring because the link is about to go dead. Or you can join the actual watch party on the Zoom link that was sent in that chat as well, or in that post. So why don't we go ahead and do that? I'm going to click off of the stream, and we will put in a link into the Zoom chat for the YouTube video for the movie we're watching, and we'll be back in about an hour on the YouTubes to chat about this god awful movie. It looks really bad, and it does not have a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb and all the fun things. So we're in for a real treat that I'm selling really well here, I guess. All right,
We'll
so
have some fun.
that's right. YouTube audience, thanks for joining us for a minute. If you're a patron, please join us, and we're going to end the stream right here. But if you're not a patron and you're just here to watch the live stream, join us in about an hour on the channel. You should see a new link posted up for a new live stream, and we will turn that on at about 9 Eastern time, 7 Mountain time. So let's do that, and we'll jump right in. Thanks for tuning in, I guess. All right. So the live